Hey guys, join me as I explore a house where cops stumbled upon a murder scene by mistake. Can I uncover the chilling secrets hidden within? Every year, thousands of murder cases go unsolved. But what if the police stumbled upon a crime scene by pure accident, a house that no one should have ever entered? This story isn't just about a crime. It's about an accident that led to something horrifying. A routine patrol, a door left ajar, and a house filled with whispers of the past. What started as a routine patrol would soon unravel a horrifying truth hidden in plain sight. Let's get started. On December 7th, 2018, authorities in Georgia were alarmed about a killer couple while trying to solve a brutal murder. In a twisted investigation, the officers discovered a locked apartment hiding disturbing scenes inside, only to reveal that they were standing in the murder house of a couple who had already fled the area and started planning their next hunt, unaware that the cops were coming for them. I just, at this point, feel like I need to kill myself because will I be able to contact my family before we go to jail? At around 10:15 p.m., on December 7th, 2018, officers in Gwinnett County, Georgia, were dispatched to the 4300 block of Leland Place Lane in Lawrenceville after receiving a 911 call about a car accident. In the call, a man told the dispatchers that his friend had been hit by a car. When responding officers arrived, they found a man heavily bleeding from the head and lying near a tree close to an apartment building. He was rushed to the emergency room, but unfortunately could not be saved by the doctors. The man was identified as 32-year-old Marcos Guerra Lopez, an immigrant from Mexico. Marcos died the next day from blunt force trauma to the head, which had fractured his skull and injured the orbital part above his eyes. Officers noted that there were no visible injuries below the neck, leading them to suspect that it might not have been a car accident that killed him. By the time the case was handed over to the county detectives, they were already 2 days behind on their investigation. Starting from scratch, detectives first met with the 911 caller to hear the events that had turned lethal. The man who worked with Marcos as a construction worker stated that the incident happened 2 weeks after Marcos had returned from his hometown in Mexico. "I'm Detective Smith. You're not in any trouble. All we care about is finding who did this. Does his family know what happened?" "Yes." "Okay, so start from the beginning on Friday and tell me how you got to that point." "We were using an online app called Meet Me to find a woman for Marcos. I saw that girl Glenda Williams on the app. She gave me her phone number." "Because he doesn't speak English, right?" "Yes, he just got here to Lawrenceville like 3 weeks ago from Mexico." I asked her, "Do you have a place?" And she said, "Yes. I got a vacant place in the apartment where I was living." According to the man, Glenda told them she used her old apartment for meetups and invited them to drive there. The man stated that Glenda first asked if they had gotten paid that day. She sent him a picture, and she was like, "You're sexy, beautiful." And then she said, "You must have just gotten paid." Why did she say that? I don't know. Maybe because it was Friday. How much did he have on him? I'm guessing between $1,000 and $2,000. "Okay, so you guys get there. Where was she?" "She was already lined up for us to follow her. She was waiting in a red SUV when we got to the address. She said, 'Come on, follow me.' I saw a black guy walk out of a car and get into the SUV. The SUV took off. That must be her pimp." Next, the man said they got a nerve-chilling call, but it wasn't Marcos speaking from the other side. The guy called us and said, "You better come in because we messed up. He's going to die in 30 minutes if you don't come and get him." and I heard Marcos screaming in the background, painful screams. For the next hour, the man and his friend searched for Marcos and finally found him lying outside the building. Officers wanted to know more about Glenda Williams, who had invited them in the first place. What did this Glenda girl look like? You showed us her profile on the Meet Me app, right? Did you find her on Facebook or anywhere else after that? I searched for her on Facebook and compared pictures. They looked alike. The Facebook page found by the victim's friend belonged to Glenda, but it was a shared account with a man named Russell Williams. Detectives also found a Facebook page named Glenda and Russell Williams, featuring pictures of the couple. From the page, they learned the couple often sold various items online. Detectives also discovered that Russell owned a red 2007 Mercury Mariner, which matched the vehicle described by the 911 caller. His last registered address was the same apartment complex where Marcos had gone. Detectives needed to verify the address, but shocking news awaited them at the site. When detectives reached the apartment complex, they found patrol officers already working at the scene. Another similar incident had happened just hours earlier. Another man had been lured into an apartment with promises of sex for money, but it had turned into a grisly nightmare. Detectives obtained lease papers revealing the full name of the woman, 20-year-old Glenda Carter. The victim, before being taken to the hospital, claimed that a short white female with black hair had lured him in. Once inside, he was beaten with a baseball bat and robbed. Now dealing with two nearly identical incidents in 2 days, detectives knew they were facing multiple suspects, but they still lacked solid evidence. The apartment was searched, and in the master bedroom, detectives found large bloodstains on the carpet and splatters reaching the walls. A bloody handprint was embedded in the carpet, painting a terrifying picture of a victim's struggle to escape. Neighbors, however, reported hearing nothing unusual. Detectives soon learned the second victim had recovered and was ready to talk. They met him in the hospital, hoping for critical details that could solve the case. I guess the dude passed out or something, and they literally dragged him to the tree. But you didn't plan for them to do that, right? No, I just planned on selling myself. I mean, you kind of knew that they were probably just going to try to take his stuff, right? Glenda seemed unprepared for the actual questions detectives had. Was that the plan? Just to take their stuff? You weren't actually going to sleep with them? Possibly. I didn't know they was going to beat him like that. Broke my heart. Literally, I cried that night. So what did they take from him? What did you guys take from him? They took literally just his wallet and, okay, his phone. I'm willing to return the money to the guy. Okay, so how long was it before our friends went to go find him? Sirius had the phone, and the people kept calling the person's phone. Darius answered and was like, I beat your man, your friend, and I took them by the tree. Just go get him. Why do you think Darius made those statements? Russell at the time was saying, I feel bad for this dude. Like this dude could be dead at any point. Did you guys call 911? Number Russell wanted to, I guess, make an anonymous call, and Zaris was in the back like, no, you just have to stop being y'all just go along with it. They illegal, what they gonna do? All right, so on Sunday, what happened on Sunday? It was just the same thing. I told them, only do it if they try to hurt me. Like only hurt somebody if they hurt me. And they was like, okay, we got this. Well, let us talk to everybody else, and then we'll just come back and talk to you. Detectives then went to have a talk with Russell Williams and see if his story matched Glenda's. We've talked to other people, And we know that there were some things happening where some people, you know, ended up getting hurt, okay? Ultimately, that apartment where we know that things happened came back to you guys. What I want you to do is just kind of explain it all to us so we can understand what's going on. Okay, sir, it was in like a bad financial situation. That's all that was. And I have a job trying to survive off of my income. Who you working for? I'm the worker. So we know there was an incident that occurred on Friday at the apartment, okay? Can you walk me through that? Well, I guess she just ended up talking to one of her friends, invited her friend over to the apartment complex. I was talking to the guy, asking if he had any money. We asked, can we borrow some money? We were agitated. He got kind of forceful. Russell's story began to differ from what the detectives knew. He ended up trying to touch on Glenda. You're just trying to ask him for some help. Okay, so who hit who first? I'm telling you, don't tell my wife, and then he ended up hitting me and I hit him back. I just pinned him down, actually. Okay, so you pinned him down? That training, effing military. At what point did Zaris come in with a bat? I guess he was trying to defend me because, you know, that's what brothers do. Then what happened? After that, I carried him down the stairs. Down the stairs? What happened after that? Because we know that his friends were receiving some messages from the guy's phone. We ended up sending him a message of where he was. Listen, Russell, I'm trying to be patient with you, but you're not being honest with us, man. And I'm not going to sit here forever and hear all this stuff. You're trying to say that these guys bucked up on you first. We know that's not what happened. We know that you guys invited these gentlemen over there with the intentions of robbing them from the start. Simple as that. Yeah, they were fighting you back after you attacked them, correct? I mean, there's a bloody baseball bat in your car, registered to you. You want to explain that? What's going on, man? Like, what's going on in your life that you guys needed to do this? This is not what's going on. One of our daughters. Explain that to me. When did you lose your daughter? We couldn't afford to take care of her, so now she's fostered. I don't know how, but somewhere down the road, we became financially behind all the bills that we had, like the car note, car insurance. We had credit people to pay back. This made detectives feel sympathy, but it quickly changed. Within 28 hours, detectives closed the case and arrested all 3 suspects. Glenda Carter was arrested on the charges of murder, aggravated assault, and armed robbery. She was later convicted of all 3 charges. Glenda's partner, Russell Williams, entered an offered plea to murder, aggravated assault, and armed robbery. He was sentenced to life in prison, along with his brother Zaris, who would also spend his life in prison for murder, aggravated assault, and armed robbery. A simple man from Mexico who was working hard in America to provide for his parents back home and create a better life, did not deserve to lose his life the way he did. In the last moments when Marcos's mother saw her son, she showed the heart of a warrior and hoped to keep his legacy alive by donating his organs. Before ending the video, we would like to pay our heartfelt condolences to Marcos Guerra's family. May his soul forever rest in peace. What do you think really happened in that house? Could this be connected to something even more sinister? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you love chilling mysteries, check out our next video on unsolved crimes that will keep you up at night.